Galing 150th. A singing contest performing songs made popular by Canadian artists and composers. This is open to all talented individuals. Sing Galing 2017 in Canada's 150th. Kung may kakilala kang may talent sa pagkanta, hikayatin mo na magpalista. Tawag na sa 647-830-5639. Now na o makipag-ugnayan sa PinoyRadio.com. Para sa mga karagdagang detalye, hanapin lamang si Quiz Joey Abrinilia. Sing Galing Canada Singing Contest. Sing Galing 2017. In the spirit of the celebration of Canada's 150th birthday, Media Concept Broadcasting Network Incorporated, PinoyRadio.com, Crosswave Radio, and MCBN TV showers you with limited edition souvenirs. Your station is giving away 150 items free. Cool shirts from PinoyRadio.com and Crosswave Radio and MCBN TV mugs. From July 1st until December 31st. Simply tune in to our programs in any of our MCBN stations. When and how? Kinig na kabayan. PinoyRadio.com, Crosswave Radio, and MCBN TV. Tutok na, nood na. All these for you. Our way of saying Happy 150th Canada at sa mga tumatangkilik ng MCBN stations. Thank you, our dear listeners and viewers.
What's the purpose of your visit? Do you intend to stay long?
Questions. A lot of questions.
So, what's your concern? Do you have issues on student visa or super visa?
I want to know about family sponsorship.
Business immigration?
How about caregiver program?
Self-employed class?
Tell me more on PR and citizenship applications.
Skilled and temporary workers?
Please enlighten me on express entry,
etc., etc.
More inquiries? NQCIS has the answers. Northern Quest, Canadian Immigration Services.
Visit their website today, northernquest.ca, or better call them now at 647-302-3508.
NQCIS, your reliable partner to your bright future in Canada.
Kick off my shoes, turn Pinoy Radio on. Few moments later and my favorite song comes on. I'm feeling happy, dance to the beat. Filipino music makes me feel free. The music touches my soul, makes me feel high. I'm loving life, proud to be Pinay. There's no other place that makes me feel home than tuning into PinoyRadio.com. This is the music of my life, fills me with love and so much pride. PinoyRadio.com, just log in, it's always on. PinoyRadio.com, just log on, it's always on. PinoyRadio.com.
We would like to express that the opinions, views, comments, and suggestions of the host in this program are purely their own and do not reflect those of Pinoy Radio. Emanating from MCBN Broadcast Center, your all-Filipino radio, PinoyRadio.com. PinoyRadio.com. This year will never get short of surprises. In fact, we step up the game. Hashtag Level Up Goals. The finest hits, outstanding shows, remarkable events. Media Concept Broadcasting Network Incorporated. This is PinoyRadio.com. Love it. Caregivers, unite. Your show is here. ATC. Ito tayong mga caregivers. Caregivers na nasa ibang parte ng ating mundo o nasa Canada mismo. Sama ka na sa palatuntunang tutugon sa iyong mga hinaing. Sasagot sa mga isyong bumabagabag sa inyong damdamin. Pag-uusapan ang mga temang napapanahon at mga hamon sa buhay ng mga caregivers ng kasalukuyang panahon. ATC, kasama ang inyong ating Ate V para samahan, alalayan at tulungan kayo sa mga usaping labor o legal, immigration o reunification, services o settlement. Lahat ng yan sa ETC program nating mga caregivers. ETC, eto tayong mga caregivers with Ate V and friends. Kasama ang iba't ibang mga organisasyon na ating katuwang. Kaya't mga kabayan, kaibigan, narito na ang inyong ka-ETC, Vilma Ate V Pagaduan. Kinig na ngayon na.
Ayan, magandang hapon po. Ito po si Ate V at kasama ko po si Jerome Peralta para sa ating ETC sa hapong ito. At ngayong hapon ay very special. Bakit ka mo, Jerome?
Siyempre, Ate V, magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat at welcome po ulit sa aming show. Ate V, talaga napaka-special ng araw na ito ngayon dahil meron tayong special guest.
Siyempre.
At hindi natin patatagalin to. I-introduce ko na, Ate V, ang ating guest.
Yes, please do the honor.
Our special guest is the leader of the Progressive Conservative Party of Ontario. And he has been an MP for 3 terms of Barrie, serving Simcoe County for 17 years. And ladies and gentlemen, he's running for Ontario's Premier next year. Without so much ado, please welcome our special guest today, Mr. Patrick Brown.
Hello, sir. Kamusta? How are you?
Well, magandang hapon. Salamat po for having me on Pinoy Radio. It is a real honor and a pleasure. My great friends in Barrie, where I'm from, in the Filipino community, speak very highly of Pinoy Radio, and so it's an honor for me to be with you today.
Oh, it's an honor for us, and I am an avid fan of Filipino in Barrie because I have a very huge community there. And when I heard from Beethoven, which is your best friend, that he's a good friend of yours, so I asked him that if I can invite you here, and I'm glad that you're here.
But
we have to keep going because I know you're so busy. I would like to take this opportunity, of course, in behalf of Pinoy Radio, to thank you for coming here. And I would like to ask you, how did you get involved with the Filipino community, especially in Barrie?
Well, I met my friend Beethoven Carrasco early on, and he told me about some events that were happening. I came out and I just fell in love with the community, the sense of family, the sense of helping each other, the real sense of community. For me, I found it inspiring, and it reminded me of the values that my family hold dear. The work ethic in the community was just so impressive, and quickly members of the community became some of my closest friends in Barrie, and I said I want to go visit the Philippines, and so I went. I've now been to the Philippines 3 times. The first time I went, I fell in love with it, and as I was leaving the Philippines, I said, I can't wait till I come back. And
nice.
Whether it's visiting Cebu, Bohol, Manila, Boracay, whether it's going up into the North Luzon, there is so much to see, and the people are so decent, wonderful, wonderful families.
Friendly.
But it's still on my bucket list. One day I want to go to Palawan. Beethoven tells me that's another one of the hidden treasures.
That's heaven. It's heaven.
That's right.
But you know what? The funny thing is, after going to the Philippines all these times, is I came back a little bit more Filipino. You look at Patrick Brown, my dad's Irish and my mother's Italian. You're probably saying, you don't look Filipino. Well, I can tell you, I go to so many Filipino events now that I think I'm becoming Filipino by osmosis. And to such an extent, when I was in Barrie, I started a tradition where in my home I started my own Hello Hello party.
Yeah.
That's
Now,
nice.
when I was in the Philippines the first time, I had Hello Hello, and I'm like, this is amazing. And Beethoven told me, well, we can figure out a way to make it in Ontario, back home. And so we got all the ingredients. We put on a party for the community in Barrie, and we started it there, and now I do it at Queen's Park. My next one will be September 23rd, and everyone's welcome. But
I was there last year.
Good.
You invited me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I want to be the first premier of Ontario that has a side addiction to Hello Hello.
Yeah.
I'll be looking forward to that.
I know. And we will all be there next year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Everyone is welcome.
Yeah. So, you've been to Philippines, but even going there, visiting only for 3 times, what makes you, the magnet of becoming really in touch with the Filipino community, aside from the fact that Beethoven is your friend and you like the qualities of the Filipino community, and what else?
Well, I think it goes to this. I love Canada. I absolutely love Canada. I love our country. And when I see this growing and dynamic Filipino community in Canada, I think Canada's getting better. I think Canada's becoming more amazing. You look at the community and what they contribute. Beyond the diversity, I said that the community reminded me of my own family. I was very lucky that when I was a young boy, I had a mother and a grandmother and a family that would never give up on me. And what I see in the Filipino community is the same thing. When I grew up, I had a very severe stutter. And
I saw that ad.
And my grandmother found me a speech pathologist so I could talk. And they literally had my back all along the way. And I feel very lucky. And what I see in the Filipino community is that same sense of fierce loyalty and love in the Filipino parents towards their kids. And I think that's just a wonderful thing for Canada. I'll give you one example that I think speaks to that. You know, a year ago we had a debate at Queen's Park over the funding of autism services. Now,
I was there.
now autism is affecting more and more children. And I met a lady, Melanie Palapon, a Filipino lady from Mississauga, and her son Xavier had autism. He had been on the waiting list for services for 3 years. And she said to me, I've loved Canada and I've worked hard. And the one thing I thought about Canada is if something happened to my family, that we'd be okay. But this is a country that takes care of you if something happens, if there's a health issue. And her son got kicked off the wait list for autism services because the government didn't view that as important. And we had a rally fighting for these families, and she got up speaking about what her son meant to her. And she said, never underestimate a mother's love for their son. I just thought that was so beautiful. And by the way, we ended up bringing the government down on this issue. They reversed course. They brought the funding back. But it was because of speeches like that. And for me, I looked at Melanie speak, and it gave me goosebumps because I was like, that's the perfect mother. That's a symbol of love. And I found it inspiring.
Symbol of love and caregiver.
But it's a symbol of the Filipino culture, really, because I see that in all the Filipino families I meet, and it's special.
And we're born as caregivers. And speaking of caregivers, because I'm dying to ask you this. I'm really dying to, because I came from the Living Caregiver program, and I would like to ask your view about, because during the 2014 and 2015, during the era of Chris Alexander, they made massive or major changes in the LCP program, Living Caregiver program, which ultimately they eliminated the program. And because of those changes, there was a massive backlogs right now. We still have applicants from 2007, which is 10 years now. So what is your view on this issue? I know this is a federal issue, but...
yeah, I'm not in federal politics anymore, but I'm happy to comment on it. You know, I don't like to avoid questions. I like to answer everyone. If I was in federal politics today, I would want the program to be as open and accessible as possible. I think the Living Caregiver program is wonderful. And, you know, when it was at its height, the largest source of newcomers in Canada was from the Filipino community, and I thought that was Canada's gain, that was Canada's benefit. And if I was Prime Minister today, and I don't want to be Prime Minister, I'm running for Premier.
I know.
Be very clear about that.
Clear about that.
But if I was in federal politics, I would want that program to be as accessible as it once was, because I think it is, as a proud Canadian, in my selfish, patriotic Canadian viewpoint, having that program open, having that program work, where there's not massive backlogs, is a wonderful thing for Canada.
Yeah, because in 2014, according to statistics in Canada, www.statcan.gc.ca, during the 2014 and 2015, there was a huge decline of the numbers of non-permanent residents that came to Canada. It is because of the changes, and because of the changes, the employers, the Canadian employers, are having a hard time bringing the foreign workers in Canada. So if you would be, because Service Canada is provincial, that's part of the process when you're bringing foreign workers. What plans do you have for these employers who are having a hard time?
Well, sometimes the federal government delegates some immigration powers to the provincial government. It's called the P&P program, the Provincial Nominee Program. And if the federal government gives me permission, if I was Premier of Ontario, to expand that program, to look at ways to make it more accessible, I would be there in a second to do so. It is... like I said, it was a benefit to Canada, it would be a benefit to Ontario. And I would want to use whatever tools I have at my disposal to make sure that we get rid of that backlog, because if there is a loving Filipino wanting to be in Canada, wanting to help a Canadian family, why would we stand in the way of that? Why would we allow these backlogs?
That's right. I completely agree with that.
Okay, like him, I would like to give him an example. He's a nurse back home. And I know this is provincial, the issue on International Evaluation Credentials Program in Ontario.
It's horrible here.
I know, it's horrible.
But I'm going to say that it's not just nursing. It's, you look at physicians, where you got physicians in some cases. We need family doctors in Ontario. There's places in Ontario where there's no family doctors. People waiting for endless periods to get a medical appointment, and we have physicians, foreign doctors who can't get accreditation here, and they're driving taxi cabs instead. They're delivering pizzas.
That's right.
And it's senseless. And so one thing that I want to do is I want to break down some of these barriers, because I very much believe that some of these professional societies are backroom boy mentalities, and that has to change. And you look at this government right now with Kathleen Wynne, they just cut 50 medical residency positions. And that's an example. That's one of the entry points. To get into the system, you need to have a residency position. And so it's one of the ways they can block newcomers from coming. And I just think this, if we're proud to be a country that has welcomed people from all over, and if you're going to welcome people here and they go through the difficult process to become a Canadian citizen, we all know it's not easy.
Oh, yes.
You go through hurdle after hurdle, but once you make it here, to think that we wouldn't want you to use your God-given talents doesn't make sense to me, and we need to rectify that.
Thank you. I hope you will win. And
Let's work it out.
yeah. I know it's kind of hot in here, and I'm sorry about that,
Issues are
because
hot.
our air condition is not working, because nowadays the hydro is too high. So do you have any plans for that in the future, Mr.
Well, first of all, let me
good
say
segue.
I don't mind hot by becoming Filipino by osmosis. It means I love the heat. I recall when I was there, it was
but
hot.
paying the heat?
But the problem is the hydro bill. You're right.
That's right.
Under this government, we've seen hydro bills become among the highest in North America. Under the Liberals' watch, hydro bills have gone up 300%. 300%. And I hear families who tell me they're terrified to open their hydro bill. Kathleen Wynne's interventions have made your hydro bill your second mortgage. And my one goal, if I'm Premier of Ontario, is to make it easier for families to make ends meet and get ahead. And there's one area where there's a crisis of affordability. It's on hydro. And so how we're going to fix that is a few ways. One, you look at all these executive salaries in hydro. Kathleen Wynne pays the CEO $4.5 million.
Whoa.
In Quebec, the CEO gets $400,000. Why we pay so much here? Kathleen Wynne says that's what they pay in corporate America, but I'm sorry, she's wrong. Those aren't appropriate salaries. You have people struggling to pay their bills, and she's signing off on these ridiculous paychecks. I'm going to clean that up. The second thing I want to say is these bad contracts they've signed. The Liberal Party got big donations, $1.3 million in donations from these renewable energy companies, but these bad contracts they signed are for energy we can't use. And so we're in a situation right now where we have to give our surplus electricity away to Michigan, Pennsylvania, Ohio. We charge you for surplus contracts that she signed. And I'm going to look at those bad deals, and I realize she doesn't want to because she signed them with her friends, but I don't owe anything to anyone, and I'm going to make sure that the only thing that counts is what's in the best interest of the people of Ontario, and we're going to look at all those ugly bad deals that Kathleen Wynne signed.
Once you become a premier, wow, I wish
Very
something
clear.
good is gonna happen next year. So, with regards to we have bridging programs in Ontario, different bridging programs, but this bridging program for internationally trained applicants are complaining that before it was free, but now it's not free anymore. So, when you win next year, if you win, are you going to do something about these bridging programs for international trained applicants?
So I'd have to learn more about those bridging programs. This is the first time I've heard of that, but obviously we want to make one's integration into Canadian society as seamless as possible. If anyone has examples, any of your listeners, of where there's bridging programs that could be helpful, where there's bridging programs where there's costs that are a barrier, go to forontario.ca. That's my website to collect good ideas, forontario.ca. Or go to ontariopc.com and share with me those suggestions. And so if there's a profession you're trying to go into and there's a barrier because of these expensive bridging programs and fees, I want to know about that. And frankly, sometimes the government makes changes that are not well acknowledged, and this could be an example of something that they did quietly that's really causing hardship for people.
Yeah, I know. It's because of the fees and the incompetence of the staff also is one of the barriers. And also they said that they don't know what they're talking about. They don't have any idea.
I'm not surprised you say this. You know, I find increasingly we have a government that has been in so long that they have become lazy and incompetent. You hear examples. You know, they built a bridge in Pickering. Part of the bridge they built upside down. You know, on the 403, they repaved a road every 2 years instead of every 15 years. And now they're spending government resources on things like Canada Goose jackets and $200,000 giant rubber ducks. Where are their priorities? Where is the competency we expect from a government?
So we're going to have a lot of baby boomers, you know, and we need more caregivers. And because of these problems that we're having right now in the federal, is there any way that your office can advocate for us in order for the caregivers or the employers can work together and
it would be my honor to advocate on their behalf. And you mentioned baby boomers. I see it in my own family. My younger sister Stephanie just has 3 young boys now, and so they're 5, 3, and now 1. And you're right. There's a lot of new babies being born, and the support system that we have, you know, we want to maintain and make sure that families are well cared for. I would note I'm getting a little bit of pressure. My grandmother, who's sort of the matriarch of our family, is 103.
Wow,
103.
That's amazing.
She's still as sharp as anything.
Wow.
Still the smartest person in the family at 103. And she's on my case. She tells me, Patrick, before you're 40, I want to see you settle down and have kids. And I'm running out of time because I told my grandmother, don't worry, I'm going to work on it. And I've been so busy with work, but now I'm 39. So I've got my grandmother looking at me saying, you need to settle down. So in a few years, maybe I can work on contributing to those baby boomers.
Do you have any?
Oh, I'm just listening. It's all interesting that we were discussing here.
So. In terms of hydro, you mentioned about your policy on hydro. What other policies are you planning to change or eliminate, or if there is?
Well, I want to bring ethics and accountability to Queen's Park. I feel there's too many ethical lapses. We have a government right now that's facing 5 OPP investigations. So there's a few changes I want to make. One, on government advertising, right now the government has increased the advertising budget by $32 million. Now it's $57 million, and they spend it on partisan ads. They shouldn't be using the public's money to campaign. I want to make sure that the powers of the Auditor General to vet partisan ads is returned. There's another practice that is very unseemly at Queen's Park. It's where government workers can go work for companies that they gave contracts to. There's sort of a lobbying loophole. You saw that with the situation with Tesla. I want to remove those existing loopholes in lobbying cooling off periods and to address that. Fundraising targets for ministers. Right now you've got ministers who have fundraising targets. Minister of Health had to fundraise $500,000. The Minister of Finance, $500,000 for the Liberal Party. And rather than ministers having fundraising targets, they should be focused on running their own ministries. And so I want to get rid of those fundraising targets. I want to make sure the government's business is about the people of Ontario, not whatever party is in power that day. And so an Ethics and Accountability Act to clean up some of these loopholes that have been egregiously abused is certainly something on my agenda.
And what about the the issue of the PSWs? They want to have a regulated organization or something. Do you have any plans for this?
Yeah, I've been meeting with the PSW Association, and we're looking at ways to help them have that self-regulation. There are different touch points within our healthcare process, and whether it is RNs, RPNs, physicians, it's about creating the best level of care in Ontario and helping each of these organizations do their job to the best of their abilities. And as someone who's passionate about healthcare, I've been very involved with my local hospital in Barrie, the Royal Victoria Hospital. I want to make sure that they have the tools to do their job properly, and whether it's PSWs or whether it is any aspect of that journey for health, I'll be there to help. And frankly, I think we can do a lot more on home care. Right now in Ontario, there's ALC rates in hospitals that are egregious, and one of the best ways to push that back is to have greater access and a greater level of home care in the province of Ontario.
Okay, so thank you. I know I promised that you'll be staying 30 minutes because you're so busy and you'll be traveling a lot, and you'll be campaigning for to become the next premier in Ontario. So I'm gonna give you the last 5 minutes for the viewers and the listeners.
Well, I just wanted to say thank you for having me on. Salamat po for having me on here today. I am having my next gathering with the community on September 23rd at Queen's Park. If you want to join us, please let Wilma or Beethoven or anyone else know. Everyone is welcome. I'll be making my best hallow possible, and I've got some good help to make sure that I do it properly. I have a love and an admiration for the Filipino community, and sometimes you may feel that government is distant and that it's a bunch of gray hairs at Queen's Park. Know that this is your house. One of the reasons I have my hallow party at Queen's Park is this is not a bunch of politicians. It's your house. This is your legislature. This is your democracy. And we've never had, in Ontario right now, we don't have a Filipino MPP. You know, we had one.
Maybe next.
well, I've been working on this. So there was in Manitoba.
The doctor.
And we have in Ottawa, my good friend Senator June Enverga. I think everyone knows Tobias. But I made it a personal mission. I wanted to make sure if I want to be Premier of Ontario, our legislature should reflect the beautiful community we have in Ontario. And that, why wouldn't we have a Filipino MPP? And there's a lady in Mississauga, Angeli Passes, who Beethoven introduced me to. She speaks 5 languages, a proud Filipino Canadian, lawyer, accomplished, involved in local charities, and she's now running a Mississauga Centre. We believe she's going to be the next MPP and the first Filipino Canadian MPP in our Ontario legislature. And I was campaigning with Angeli a few weeks ago, and I said to her, this is pretty powerful stuff, because there'll be a 10-year-old Filipino Canadian girl in Mississauga, and she'll look to Angeli and say, I can do that too. And I think role models are powerful, and I want the community to know that there are barriers still in Ontario. I'm cognizant of that, whether it's with professional societies, whether it's not having a voice in the legislature, and I know all parties say that they want to make things better, and you have to take that all with a grain of salt. But I can tell you from my heart of hearts, we're going to make it better. And guys like Beethoven, who's here today, Beethoven Carrasco, I've known him for 15 years, and he can tell you, my loyalty to the community isn't at election time, it's permanent, and we'll do our best to move the yardstick forward. And I hope that in the years ahead we can celebrate many more successes for the community, whether it's in professional societies, whether it's in the legislature, whether it's in every aspect of the beautiful Ontario fabric.
Yeah, thank you so much, Patrick Brown, and I will see you in Barrie.
Look forward to it.
And I will see you also in the Halo Festival.
September 23rd, don't miss it.
Yeah, we will be there.
Yeah, again, TV, if they have questions, ladies and gentlemen, you could email or check the website for ontario.ca or ontariopc.com.
Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you to Beethoven, and thank you to Miriam. And we will be right back. Thank you so much.
Kinig na! This is your Caregiver's Hour on PinoyRadio.com. ETC. Ito tayong mga caregivers. ETC. Tutok na! Ang programang ito ay hatid sa inyo ng Northern Quest, Canadian Immigration Services. Oh well, you don't realize how much you miss Taste of Manila until you're in it again.
Now nothing can take you away from me.
In support of Canada's 150th and Taste of Manila Experience Year 4, we're making this year a little more interesting with Singaling 150th. A singing contest performing songs made popular by Canadian artists and composers. This is open to all talented individuals. Singaling 2017 in Canada's 150th. Kung may kakilala kang may talent sa pagkanta, hikayatin mo na magpalista. Tawag na sa 647-830-5639. Now na o makipag-ugnayan sa PinoyRadio.com. Para sa mga karagdagang detalye, hanapin lamang si Quiz Joey Abrinilia. Singaling Canada Singing Contest. Singaling 2017.
Mark your calendars. Prepare your bikes. Bring your family, friends, and office mates. Get ready to have some fun. Join us in our inaugural charity bike ride. Bike pa more. Bike pa more. Pedal for Hunger on September 9, 2017. Saturday, 6:30 a.m. at the Ryerson Park, City of Lakewood in Southern California with 90 slots for this event. Your $60 registration fee includes Bike pa more jersey and lunch, fully stocked aid stations, raffle, and giveaways. Bike pa more. Pedal for Hunger. Proceeds will go to the Paris Social Action Committee of Lipa City in Batangas and other charity groups that will help feed the hungry children of the Philippines. For sponsorships and other inquiries, call 626-524-7579. Email bikepamore.org@gmail.com. Bike pa more. Pedal for Hunger. Media partnered by CrosswaveRadio.com, MCBN.TV, and PinoyRadio.com.
Sa iRemit, libreng tawag ka sa Pilipinas tuwing magpapadala ka ng pera via iRemit from any of our 8 branches across Canada. Visit Batter's Toronto branch and enjoy free coffee or tea and other refreshments and experience the comfort of their service while sending money to the Philippines. In the spirit of the celebration of Canada's 150th birthday, Media Concept Broadcasting Network Incorporated, PinoyRadio.com, Crosswave Radio, and MCBN TV showers you with limited edition souvenirs. Your station is giving away 150 items free. Cool shirts from PinoyRadio.com and Crosswave Radio and MCBN TV mugs. From July 1st until December 31st. Simply tune in to our programs in any of our MCBN stations. When and how? Kinig na kabayan. PinoyRadio.com, Crosswave Radio, and MCBN TV. Tutok na, nood na. All these for you. Our way of saying happy 150th Canada at sa mga tumatangkilik ng MCBN stations. Thank you, our dear listeners and viewers. Kinig na! This is your Caregiver's Hour on PinoyRadio.com. ETC. Ito tayong mga caregivers. ETC. Tutok na!
Ayan, at nagbabalik po kami. Kasama ko pa rin po si Jerome. Nagtatawanan kami.
Ate V, paano daw matatawad? Kanina talagang feeling ko talagang umaagos na talaga yung dugo ko dahil hindi ako
nag-nosebleed siya.
Sobrang nosebleed.
Paano yung turo ko nung tanong eh? Sabi ko, tanong mo to, wala, ayaw magsalita.
Kasi yung tatanungin ko, nakukover na ni Mr. Patrick Brown. Kaya talagang dugong-dugo ako yun. Gusto kong kurutin na si Ate B dahil Ate B, hindi ako makapasok. Puro kadugo na yung mga pinag-uusapan ninyo.
Ako pa na yung ano ko. Sabi ko, ayan o, tanungin mo, nakaganyan na ako, Diyos ko.
Yan.
Hindi pa rin, ano ngayon ang tingin mo?
Anyway, Ate B, ang daming napag-usapan actually. Ang daming kinover, ang bilis na magsalita actually. Talagang handang-handa na sa upcoming na
tayo hindi handa.
Tayong hindi handa. Ang daming na-cover na ang dami pa sana mga tatanungin na may mga sundot ba, kumbaga.
Pero syempre, alam mo naman ako, hindi ako papalagpas pagdating sa caregiver.
Kaya nga, para ikaw na maging susunod na premier eh.
Hindi, MPP daw muna. Ikaw hindi ka nakikinig
yun nga, nakita ko yun. Kaya lang mukhang patatabi.
Ano sabi niya sa caregiver? Kasi federal yon.
Yun, sabi nga niya, wala na siya sa federal politics. Kumbaga, ang focus na ngayon is sa pagiging premier niya. So, provincial yung kanyang focus.
Pero, sabi
na-cover
niya,
niya ang caregiver program at saka ang PSW actually. Ngayon ang caregiver, sabi nga niya, kung nandun man siya, bibigyan niya na importansya ang caregiver program at
i-advocate tayo.
I-advocate niya. Kaya, mga kapatid, alam niyo na.
Meron kami Alzheimer training. Kaya yung mga nakakalimot, pagdating ng...
Umaten po kayo dyan. Magkano ulit yun? Libre, di ba?
Itong ano na to, subsidize ito.
Yeah, kaya hindi ganun kamahal, mababa lang kumpara sa pag kayo nag-attend talaga sa mga training ng Alzheimer's. At saan ang location ng TV?
Dito sa may Downs View, dito sa may Mount Zion Church, Filipino Church. Yung Alzheimer Society kasi yung part nung bayad doon sa yung part ng fee is shoulder ng Alzheimer Society.
Yun ang
tapos
subsidize.
Yung tapos yung meron pa uling binigay na pondo ang Mount Zion. Kaya konting-konti na lang ang babayaran.
Ayun naman, mga
tapos sa CPR namin 35 lang kung gusto niyo. Sa labas yan, 120.
Yeah, 120. Kaya napakamura. Kaya kung wala po kayong mga certificates pa o wala pa kayong training sa Alzheimer's at saka CPR, kailangan nyo mag-renew, join na po kayo sa aming training na upcoming.
Ano pa yung sinabi niya? Ikaw naman
marami
nililigaw mo
yung pating yung pating baby boomers, hindi ko maintindihan kung hindi ko exactly makuha kung nakuha niya yung pinupuntire mong baby boomers kasi nabanggit niya yung tungkol sa kanyang kapatid na si Stephanie na may tatlong bata. Ang alam kong baby boomers ay tinutukoy mo yung mga seniors, di ba?
Seniors na yun.
Hindi ko alam kung ang tinutukoy niya kanina doon. Parang naiba Kaya sabi ko, gusto sanang sumundot. Dinugo na naman ako, kaya...
Paano turo ko na, tanong mo to. Hindi pa rin tinanong.
Tugo.
Ay,
Anyway,
nako.
sorry pa sa ano. Anyway, yun nga, maliban pa dito, nabanggit pati niya yung, again, yung mga internationally educated professionals ng TV na siguro naranasan din niya na sumakay ng taxi or madeliveran ng pizza at ang nag-deliver o nag-drive ay doktor. Which is sa akin na TV, nangyari na yon. Nangyari na ba sa'yo yun?
Hindi naman, pero may kasabihan dito sa Ontario. The best way daw na magkaroon ng stroke is sa loob ng taxi.
Dahil
driver, doktor.
Tama ka dyan.
Kasi pag na-stroke ka sa ospital, ang
walang
tagal.
Dahil walang doktor.
Walang doktor.
Kulang tayo sa doktor. Whereas kung sumakay ka ng taxi, di mo makalain na yung nagmamana sa'yo, doktor pala sa kanyang pinanggalingan. Specialist pa yung iba.
Importante yun na kailangan magkaroon ng integration kasi ang hirap kayo mag-reintegrate ang mga immigrants.
Maganda rin yung nabanggit niya na kung halimbawa mapunta siya sa kanyang papupuntahan na premier nga ng Ontario, gagawin daw niyang seamless ang proseso ng application. Kumbaga, hanggat maaari, hindi mahihirapan o hindi masyadong pahihirapan yung pag-a-apply ng mga international...
Tignan natin.
Tignan po natin yan. Abangan po natin yan.
Abangan nyo yan kasi babalik daw siya.
At syempre
election.
Yan. At saka kailangan natin mag-ingat kung sino man ang ating pipiliin dahil sila ang magiging...
future ng ating mga papel.
Sila yung mangunguna.
Yes.
At kaya kung sino man po ang susuportahan natin, mag-isip-isip na po tayo habang maaga pa.
Tignan nyo mabuti yung platform.
Yes.
Kung ano magiging effect nung platform nila
Bantayan po natin
sa community natin, sa status
programa natin.
Yeah, yung magiging integration natin, yung mga ganyan. Hindi kayo boto lang ng boto, kailangan pag-aralan, tignang mabuti.
Sa bandang huli, tayo rin po ang maapektuhan at makikinabang pati.
At in the future, hindi na siya magno-nosebleed.
Correct ka dyan, Ate B.
Ano pa, yung sinabi niya na kailangan kapag, kasi hindi niya masyadong alam yung bridging program, ano?
Yeah,
hindi siya masyadong...
medyo din niya natakal kasi inamin naman niya na hindi pa niya nga masyadong alam to at titinan niya to na siya makapagsalita siya about here at sigurado may gagawin din siya dito ulit.
So, kung sakali man at meron kayong mga tanong o meron kayong mga bad experiences dito sa bridging program, dito sa mga foreign international yung credentials, evaluation, yung mga accreditation. Lahat ng experience nyo, mga tanong nyo, isulat nyo. Pumunta daw kayo dun sa website sa forontario.ca at ontariopc.ca. Kasi hindi niya alam yung programang yan, malay nyo manalo. Diba?
At pag natalo siya, syempre, matutulungan kayo.
Tayo.
Yun lang.
At saka yung hydro.
Yeah.
Magkakaroon na tayo ng aircon next year.
Magaling yung hydro niya, yung pasyal niya sa Pilipinas at lahat-lahat, sinundot pa yung tungkol sa init. At totoo, yung hydro nga naman, hindi ko akalain narinig ko yan, pero hindi ko akalain na 300%. Something
laki,
yung tinaas ng hydro sa kasalukuyang gobyerno ng ating probinsya.
Actually, nabasa ko sa Facebook ang spelling ng hydro, hindi na HY.
Naging
HIGHDRO kasi hydro.
Uy, may mga nag-comment sa Facebook.
Sige nga, ano yun?
Gusto mo basahin ko?
Basahin mo.
Ayan, babasahin
Si Chris
ko
Jones, nasa Jamaica siya ngayon, sa Kingston. There are about 200 Filipinos here in Jamaica spreading the word of Pinoy Radio. Ayan, nakikinig siya. On point, sir, sabi ni Franco Flores, you're getting my vote in the future.
Wow!
Hey,
Sir
Chris Jones.
Yeah, sabi ni Chris Jones naman, is good to hear you, sabi niya. And yun, would like a lot of Filipinos in Jamaica would like to come to Canada.
Ooh.
Very nice.
Send your detailed resume to my email t@vilma @ymail.com t.vilma@ymail.com. Send your detailed resume. Yan, malay nyo. Maybe we can help you.
Yeah. Again, Sir Chris Jones from Jamaica, hi, and see you soon here in Toronto.
And also from my friends in Israel, 300 Filipino in one organization.
Ang galing na. Marami
Vivian,
friends dyan.
sana matandaan ko mga pangalan. No? Vivian Casas, Dulce, Bambi. Ayan, nakalimutan ko na yung iba.
Meron daw mga tagapakinig. Nanonood din sila mula sa Saudi Arabia. Kung saan po kayo dyan, welcome.
Saudi, si Joseph Ginto. Ray Enriquez, ayun, naalala ko.
At marami pa sa iba't ibang panig ng mundo.
Yan, nanonood sila lagi. No? Nanonood sila palagi sa ating programa. Meron ka bang joke na dala?
Yeah, Ate B.
May girlfriend kaya sa labas.
Hindi,
Kinakaway-kawayan
kumakaway
mo.
na sina Beethoven.
Yeah.
Salamat ulit.
Si Beethoven po, siya po ang best friend ni Patrick Brown.
Yeah, for 15 years. Tagalin lang mag-friends. Tama,
At best friend niya yan sa kasal.
Yun,
best friend niya.
Best man.
Ay, best man talaga. Dinugo!
Walang joke! Best man po
Best
ni
man.
Mr. Patrick Brown. Siguro baka magkaklase pa yun sa college
Hindi naman.
Hindi ko kalain na 30 na lang pala si Mr. Brown.
Mukhang 28, ano?
Batang-bata, no? Maganda yan kasi buwa-bata.
Single pa yun.
Kaya nga Ate B, single ka pa ba? Ulit?
Ikaw? Forever?
May nag-comment pala po sa Facebook ulit. Sabi nila, Laylay, hello po, TV, how to register in CPR training daw.
Ayun.
CPR training, punta po kayo sa ating Facebook group. Kasi meron po kami qualification bago kayo. Libre naman. Wala yung Siyempre,
May vital statistics ba, TV?
kailangan yung vital statistics niyo katulad ng vital statistics ko.
Patay tayo dyan.
Para walang namangan. Apple cut.
Okay, balik tayo. Yun naman.
Pumunta lang po kayo sa mga namin, mga free mga workshops.
Yeah, marami, hindi lang Alzheimer's, pero
basta
yung sa CPR
kayo.
nga, punta nyo lang po yung aming Facebook account, PSW Nani Caregivers TFW.
Nandun sila actually. Kaya lang, a-attend po muna kayo ng mga free workshops like yung mga resume and cover letter workshops para kayo makakwalify dun sa mga with certificates na workshop.
Yes.
Let's say, magkakaroon kami sa September. Example, sa CPR, sa September. Sa end of August, magkakaroon kami ng cover letter and resume making. Umattend kayo doon for you to qualify sa CPR.
Yeah. At alalahanin niyo po, yung mga certificates ay binibigay dyan ay kailangan natin para sa ating mga trabaho, sa pag-apply ng trabaho, sa ating resume. At dito, tatandaan po natin kung hindi po natin ina-upgrade o ina-update yung ating mga resume, hindi po tayo basta-basta makakakuha ng trabaho. Kailangan po natin. So, join po kayo at attend po kayo ng mga
At saka huwag niyo kakalimutan yung Halo-Halo Festival pala ni
yan. Yung Halo-Halo Festival at TV, gusto sanang i-clarify ito. Ano yung, di ba may Halo-Halo Festival din na ginaganap sa
iba yan.
St. Clair?
This is exclusive for Patrick Brown's Kasi every year, Patrick Brown is hosting a Halo-Halo Festival sa Queen's Park.
Yeah, kasi babalik ulit yung, last year wala yung Halo-Halo party na ginaganap sa may St. Clair and sa barn may barn something sa
St. Clair and
W something. Hindi ko matandaan. Pero
Willowdale.
No, hindi Willowdale. Mali ka dyan. So, yun, may ginaganap doon na Halo-Halo party na nung last year hindi ginanap ngayong taon na to, binabalik na naman.
Kasi
Kaya,
naubusan sila ng yelo last year.
tama ka dyan.
So, September 2020.
Iba yung halo-halo party ni
iba.
Mr.
Sa Queen's Park
Patrick Brown.
yun.
Sa Queen's
Special.
Park.
May picture kami nun eh.
Yun
May
naman.
solo picture kami. Tapos,
Hala.
meron kaming group picture. Lahat kami
Hala.
nandun. So,
Yun naman. Okay, kailan ulit yan? September 23, no?
23 ba, Ryan, sinabi? Hindi rin nakikinig
Ay,
kasi
nakikinig
dinugo
eh.
din eh.
Patay
Dinugo
tayo.
din ako.
Okay. Meron bang bayad dyan ng TV? Meron bang RSVP ba yun? Para
Yes, RSVP kasi bibilangin yung halo-halo cup.
Kasi ba magkulang yung ice. Ulit.
Yun. Kasi maraming ice, walang cup. Alam nga namang dilaan mo yung...
At maganda, kasi...
Tsaka sarap kasi may mga pansit, may mga
Sa
puto.
Sa halo-halo?
No! Ano ka ba? Lunch eh.
Akala mo may pansit sa halo-halo, kakaiba
After
yun.
nung pansit, merong halo-halo.
Ayun.
Tapos may kutsinta, may puto. O nga,
Yun.
mali din yung Tagalog ko eh.
Tama ka dyan. Pero nakakatuwang marinig din si Mr. Patrick Brown na very engaged sa mga Filipino community sa
grabe.
Bari. Nakakatuwa kasi tingnan mo nga naman at nakikisalo siya. Bago pa man din mag-election, nakikisalo siya at nakikihalubilo. Nakakatuwa dahil...
No, if you will see his Facebook page at saka yung mga postings niya, mga pictures niya, he's always with the Filipino.
Okay.
Talagang very engaged siya, very close siya sa community.
Yeah.
Kasi naging close siya sa akin.
Uy!
For one day.
Close din kami niyan kasi magkasama kami sa Knights of Rizal.
Hindi ko nga
Para
alam.
kaming member niyan.
Ba't ka dinugo?
Hindi kasi, yung mga tanong nakuha na. Kaya anyway, basta mahalaga dito, marami tayong napag-usapan at pag-usapan pa natin ulit yung mga yan. Ano yung mga, meron ka ba bang mga sports event na upcoming activity?
Actually, may gustong ulitin uli yung sports event ko
Yung
na
P-
gawing
volleyball.
all-star. Pero titignan natin yung weather, kasi grabe ang weather. Katulad nung umulan na naman, di ba? So, titignan natin kung maulit yan. Pero yearly yan, annually yan. 10 years ko na pong ginagawa ang PISO sports
that's
event.
right.
Ang PISO, ibig sabihin, Pinoy Independent Sports Organization in Ontario.
Isang araw lang po yan na
Dati,
punong-puno.
Nung caregiver pa kami lahat, every weekend dyan.
Yeah.
Talagang from pagka first day ng init hanggang lumamig na.
Ngayon, siyempre, nagkakadamihan na yung mga part-time, nagkakabayaran na ng
Hindi,
mga
simula
rental.
nung na-permanent resident na kami,
Wala na.
dumating lahat ng pamilya, may
Kaya
mga anak
yun.
na. Yung mga anak na nila ngayon,
naglalaro.
ang naglalaro.
Yeah. Kung di niyo po alam, ang pinag-uusapan pa namin ay yung volleyball tournament na pinapatakbo natin ng 10 taon na ngayon. So, isang araw po yan na punong-puno ng
Tawanan,
kasayahan,
kulitan,
pagkain, siyempre.
tubig. Hindi, sa kanila.
Ay,
Sila
ano
nagdadala
ba?
ng
Akala
pagkain.
ko.
Nakikikain lang ako.
Patay tayo dyan. Nakala ko kasama pagkain doon.
Ay, hindi
Pero,
kasi libre nga eh.
Yeah. Masaya po to at maraming teams na naglalaban-laban at
Ikaw ba
wala kayong team.
nung dumating ka dito, anong mga organization sinalihan mo?
Oh, marami at TV. Actually, aktibo sa community tsaka sa simbahan. Napasali din ako.
Hindi ka na nga makahinga eh. Sa dami na
napasali din ako ng
activities eh.
Toastmasters actually. Bumalo sa Toastmasters ko sa UHN.
Ano yung toast?
Ayun. Diyan ka duduguin.
Ano yun?
Toastmasters Club, tungkol po to sa communications and leadership training. Kumbaga, dito ka mahasa kung paano ka makakapagsalita ng mas maganda sa harap nang hindi nahiya, kakapal ang mukha mo dito. At kung
Hindi ko na
paano
kailangan yan.
Kaya sabi ko sa'yo, mas kakapal ang mukha
Blocky
mo.
na eh.
At lalong gaganda. Kung meron ka mang leadership traits, dito mo mas matitrain ang sarili mo kung paano ka mamuno, paano ka magsimula, paano ka magtaguyod ng grupo, parang gano'n. At saka yung pakikipag-communicate mo sa mga tao, mahahasa dito lalo. Kaya Toastmasters
Ano
Club
pa
yun.
ang mga activities mo?
Choir sa simbahan, syempre. Yung Knights of Columbus na talaga namang very active.
So masasabi mo
engaging
ba sa mga bagong dating na kailangan mag-engage sila sa iba't ibang activities dito
at
sa...
napaka-importante niyan at napakalaking tulong niyan. Actually, kung napapasala sa mga ganito, kahit pa paano, nagkakaroon ka ng network. Yung network mo na yan, pwede mong makuhanan ng tulong sa trabaho, minsan tulong sa pinansyal,
At
minsan
pamilya.
Yeah, kasi dito mga kaibigan, kung wala kang kagrupo, wala kang
Network.
lalo pat wala yung pamilya mo, malungkot, mahirap. Kaya napakaganda ng meron kang sinasalihan mga organisasyon.
Pero mag-iingat ka rin.
Mag-iingat ka. Lahat naman natin bigyan lang pinag-iingatan natin. Yung mga organization na po na yan, kumbaga, sabi ko nga, yung networking, yung contacts natin, resources natin, kumbaga, at hindi mo alam, baka yan pang makapagbase ng part-time o kaya trabaho, full-time.
Papa.
Tama
or
ka dyan.
mama.
Pwede yan.
Yan.
At referrals sa mga pabahay kaya o kaya kahit minsan sa mga malilit na bagay, hindi mo kalain na sa grupo mo pala, merong marunong gumawa ng mga bagay na hindi mo nagagawa. Kung mag-isa ka lang, kung wala kang kakilala, mahirap yon.
Yeah.
Ikaw, TV, meron ka bang mga organisasyon?
Yun nga, yung unang-una kong tinayo, yung sports. Ang nagsimula lang kami niyan, 4 na team. Kaming mga caregiver dun sa area lang namin. Tapos dumami, narinig nung ibang caregiver, lumaki ng lumaki, hindi na kami pwede dun sa street namin, dito sa may Batters and Wilson. Pumunta na kami ng park. Nung dumating ng park, ayun na, naging liga na. At lumaban kami sa Canada, sa Ontario. Lumaban din kami sa Montreal, sa Ottawa. Nananalo naman kami ng gold, silver. Tapos lumaban din kami sa US. Meron din kami mga bronze, silver, gold.
So yung mga MVP ng each team talagang
all-star yun. Naging all-star yun. Sila na ngayon. Hindi ko na kayang mag-travel eh.
Ate B, sa volleyball, di ba meron ba kayong mga tinatanggap na imports?
Dati may mga imports kami. Kaya lang, alam mo naman ang mga Pilipino.
May mga...
Kasi pag nananalo, lagi yung magaling ng imports. So, tinanggal namin yun. Pero dati international.
Na gustong sumali.
Dati international ito. Iba-ibang lahi talaga. Pero, syempre, Pilipino.
Mabalik tayo sa mga grupo-grupo nga TV. Nung nagsisimula rin ako, actually, galing nga ako ng Saudi, diba? At marami kami mga samahan. Napakit ko sa'yo itong bagay na ito eh. Nagkaroon kami ng parang tulong, parang kooperatiba ba? So nag-raise kami ng pera na yung perang yon kumbaga na ipon-ipon namin, pinagsanib pwersa, ipinapautang din namin sa aming grupo. At nakatulong to, lumaki at nakapagpairam sa mga tao, nakatulong din to, pero natigil lang to dahil nagkawatak-watak na nagkanya-kanya ng kasi yung iba nagkaroon ng papel, nagkaroon ng mga magandang kalagayan. Kaya ayun na, nawala na. Pero naghanap ulit ako ng gano'n kung may mga kooperatibang Pilipino.
Nagtayo din kami ng kooperatiba. Yung kooperatiba kasi namin noon, galing yun sa opisina namin. So ngayon, yung 3 kong kaopisina, 3 kong kaopisina, nandito na, sumunod. So nung dumating, yung accountant pa namin, sabi ko, try nga natin, ituloy yung kooperatiba natin. So tinry namin. Nag-click siya for 2 years. Ang laki na kinikita namin. Kaya lang, busy na ako
Maganda yan.
Busy na ako.
Sana magkaroon ng parang gano'n nga na grupo ba na...
Mag-iingat din kasi hindi naman lahat
Siyempre, kailan mag-iingat? Yeah. Meron ka bang alam ng cooperative dito ng Pilipino?
Wala, ako lang.
Yun ang sinasabi ko na walang grupo. Hindi katulad sa mga ibang groups, ibang nationals.
Tsaka maganda yung kooperatiba kasi ang tinutulungan namin, yung member lang.
Yeah, yun nga.
Yung member.
Sa grupo din lang umiikot.
For emergency cases lang, kung sino yung sa labas, halimbawa yung kaibigan namin na member, kailangan emergency cases, yun lang ang tutulungan namin.
Yung Paluwagan na TV, meron ka?
Ay, marami kaming paluwagan doon sa downtown.
Marami kaming paluwagan.
Wala nga bumalik sa akin. Lahat sila sumahod, ako hindi.
Patay tayo dyan.
Kaya mag-iingat din kayo. Yeah. Kasi hindi lahat marunong magbayad. May hinihintay ako sa January. O ayan, in-announce ko. Kailangan bayaran ako nun.
Yeah. Kaya kung...
in-announce no?
Disgrasya ka dyan. January daw, ha?
Dyan. Eh, hindi naman ako nagbanggit ng pangalan, ano?
Alam mo na yan, kung sinuan.
Alam niya yun. Nanonood eh. So, ikaw, galing kang Saudi. Ano yung mga mahihirap na dinanas mo sa Saudi?
Ay, nako Ate V. Sabi ko sa'yo. Galing po ako ng Jubail, Saudi Arabia. Sa eastern part po ito ng...
Ay, hindi namin alam yung eastern na eastern.
Kasi, pag sinabi mong Saudi, eastern, sa Jubail area, Khobar area, malapit sa Bahrain, Kuwait. Pag western, Jeddah, malapit sa UAE, malapit sa Jordan, yan. Pag central, yung Riyadh. Yan yung pinaka...
so, nandyan yung pamangking ko.
Yun. So, sa Jubail pa lang, nagkataon na may mga nakilala din ako sa naaktibo sa grupo, sa community, Filipino community. At doon at saka sa mga organizations. Kung nakikinig po dyan ng Sirkulo Ilonggo, ang tawag dito, ang mga... Sa social scene, marami kaming alam mo natin, may sa mga sosyalan doon. Kumakanta, sumasaya sa mga community events. And then, sabi ko, nakilala ko tong isang grupo, si Kuya Alex, nakalimutan ko ng family ni Kuya Alex.
Alex, sige.
Alex, ito tumutulong sa mga Pilipino na nagkakaproblema sa mga employers, yung mga hindi napapasahod, yung mga na-terminate.
But na-experience mo?
Yeah, hindi naman. Maganda yung kumpanya ko doon sa Saudi. I was blessed na napasama ko sa magandang kumpanya.
So, ano yung pinakamahirap na ano mo?
Yun, hindi sa na TV kasi may mga Pilipino akong nakakausap na yun nga, nahihirapan sa mga trabaho nila. Nire-refer ko kay
Alex.
Kuya Alex na yun nga, isa sa mga awardee dati anyway. At yun, talagang inaabogado at dinadala namin sa consulate kung kinakailangan. At maraming natulungan na doon. Maraming na...
Kumikilos ba ang consulate doon?
Oo naman.
Kasi nung ako nagka-problema, dati ako Taiwan no? Muntik na kami makulong dahil dun sa amo ko. Ginawa ko, dalawa kami. Ayaw niya, bayaran mo. Di binayaran niya 10,000, dalawa kami.
Yun.
Kasi... Siyempre, caregiver ka, pinagtrabaho niya ako sa ospital, bawal yun
Disgrasya.
May Pilipinong nagsumbong.
Ayun
ang una kong tinawagan, consulate.
Aha.
No way. Walang tulong. Ang tumulong sa akin, German na lawyer. Free of charge. Kaya naayos ang aking stay.
Oo.
Pero grabe, madugo. Kailangan nyo ng tuwalya kung gusto nyong... marinig ang buong storya niya, yung mga experience ko.
Balik lang ako di activist sa Jubel.
Hindi pa pala siya tapos. Sige, tuloy.
Hindi pala, naalala ko, Sahi pala, Samang Hiligay nun yun.
Bisaya.
Hiligay nun nga, Ilonggo.
Nanay ko kasi.
Yun. Tapos sa Jeddah naman, yung mga kooperatiba ng mga Ilocano, multipurpose cooperative to
Buhay pa kaya yung mga organisasyon na yun?
Na TV, ang laki. Yung mga namumuno dyan, sina Alex, nakalimutan ko ng mga ibang tao. Basta yun. And then, yung makasamaan ko sa Cobar, sa National Pipe Company, sa Jubel, sa VAI, dati, yun, SVA.
Ako, yung pamangking ko nga nasa Riyadh. Talagang pagdating niya, iyak siya ng iyak. Ako nga umiiyak, kaya minsan ayoko i-chat kasi talagang hindi ako pwedeng hindi iyak. Kasi parang anak ko na yun dahil nung yumao yung kanyang ama, yung kapatid ko.
Yumao talaga, no?
Pumanaw, nagpaalam na. Siya yung panganay. Kaya pinag-aral ko yan, Lasal graduate yan.
At least napatapos mo na.
Dinugo ang credit card ko dyan. Pero napatapos ko yung pati siya tsaka yung kapatid niya. Sila na ngayon na nagpapaaral dun sa iba pa niyang mga kapatid.
Balik ulit tayo sa Jeddah TV. Nung nasa Jeddah.
Hindi pa pala siya tapos. Sige, yan.
Sa Jeddah, nakipagtulungan din ako sa consulate. Nagkamap ako ng mga trainings doon, livelihood trainings, yung mga baking, mga Swedish massage training.
So kung buhay pa yung mga yon, programang yon, pumunta lang sila doon?
Yeah, wala na ako doon kaya wala na magtuturo natutuwa ako nun dahil isa sa mga naging estudyante ko sa Swedish massage training, naging kliyente niya yung isa sa mga royal family. Siyempre, proud ka dahil estudyante mo, tapos naging kliyente niya isang royal family. Nabigatin talaga. Hindi ko nababanggitin yung pangalan, baka ma-technical ako. And then, nag-celebrate kami dahil doon. So, ang daming Agena TV, ang tumbok natin dito, yung networking, yung organization, yung pakikisali sa mga grupo, napaka-importante niyan. Ang dami mong magagawa niyan sa buhay mo na, mahirap yung mag-isa Maganda yung nakikigrupo ka or may mga kasamaan ka nang sa ganun. Kung
may malalapitan ka pagdating ng panahon.
Hindi lang sa Saudi.
Katulad ngayon, maraming problema sa backlog. Kung nag-iisa kang sumisigaw dyan ng backlog, hindi ka maririnig.
At saka yun nga pala, palaging pinopost natin sa Facebook account namin na yung mga may problema dyan, yung mga hindi pa naayos yung mga papel, may mga katanungan dyan, message lang po kayo at maraming kinakabog si Ate V.
Nagkaroon kami ng press conference last 2 weeks ago with the NDP leader, NDP MP.
Susunod mo pa siya dito?
Si Jenny Kwan. So, yung aming kasama doon na si Jocelyn, hindi ko pa pwedeng sabihin. Pero, magandang balita.
Mag-guest ba dito?
Sino? Si Jocelyn. Gusto ko nga i-guess si Jocelyn, busy. Pero in the future, malapit na yan. Pero may good news yung nangyari after nung press conference. Kaya kayo, kung kayo ay affected ng backlog at gusto nyo may mangyari sa papel nyo, dumalo kayo sa mga panawagan ko, At sa August nga, pupunta tayo sa Herbels. Kailangan nandun kayong lahat. Mga backlog, 100 plus names yung nagsabi na pupunta, At ini-expect ko na nandun kayo para marinig ang ating hinaing mga backlog. Okay? Kasi, kung nag-iisa ako, hindi ako mapapakinggan. Unang-una, hindi ako affected ng backlog.
Dahil tapos ka na.
Tapos na ako dyan eh.
Yun
Yung
lang.
papel nyo ang kailangan. Kaya kailangan nandun kayo para kayo ang mapakinggan. Dahil
Kailangan po
experience
nating
nyo.
kabugin.
Dahil experience nyo ang pakikinggan. Hindi yung experience ko kasi tapos na ako dyan eh.
Tapos
Oo,
tayo.
na tayo.
Yeah, tapos na tayo. Kaya yun na.
So kung hindi po kayo makikisama para sa papel nyo, para sa pag-usad ng
Walang
papel nyo, wala
mangyayari.
pong mangyayari sa inyo. Kami po
Matatagalan
dito
lalo.
tumutulong lang. Kung kayo mismo na affected, ayaw nyong tulungan ng sarili nyo, wala po ako magagawa.
Tama yun.
At baka sa September po, merong gathering din na mangyayari sa Edmonton. Mga one day lang yun.
Yeah. Ate B, babati ko lang pala si Mike Tulibas. Happy birthday. Kasama ko siya kahapon sa Buffalo. Nagkaroon ng Filipino Day pilgrimage doon at ang dami namin doon. Every last Saturday of the month.
Batiin mo
of
si
July.
Majesty.
Your Majesty, hi!
How
Kasama
are
ko si
you?
Majesty ko dito, yung alaga ko.
Yeah.
Nakibisita din. Ayan.
So, ito po ang aming episode sa hapon na ito. At ito po si
Kuya Jay!
Jerome Peralta. At ito po si Ate V ng
Vilma
ETC.
Pagaduan.
Yeah, Vilma Pagaduan ng ETC dito sa PinoyRadio.com.
Hanggang sa muli po, maraming po salamat.
Bye. Maraming salamat po. Ito po si Ate V ng ETC. Magkita-kita po tayo next week, Sunday, dito po sa PinoyRadio.com.
Isa na namang siksik na hapon sa palatuntunan para sa ating mga ka-ATC. Caregivers Hour sa PinoyRadio.com.
Maraming paksa na sanga-sanga na napapaloob sa caregivers.
Ito tayong mga caregivers. ETC. Sari-saring tema, halo-halong usapin, tutugon sa mga issue, sasagot sa mga tanong.
Kayo po ay nakikinig sa Pinoy Radio at napapanood nyo rin po kami sa live streaming dito sa Facebook at MCBN TV.
Hanggang sa susunod, ganap na alas 2 hanggang alas 3 ng hapon. ETC on PinoyRadio.com. What does it take to realize your dreams? To get you there, a vision and positive steps. The same goes to your financial future. At World Financial Group, we help middle-income families identify their dreams. It's never too early to start working towards your dreams. So I suggest you call Agnes Miranda today to